running through my head like I got lice. Only move at
Hello, 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 my wonderful people.
But I'm not afraid no
I don't know why it restarted, but I guess that's what's meant to
more. I can do
be.
this all the time. I know why I'm alive. You won't never see me settling. I won't never settle. I know he the reason why. I just look up to the sky. When I try, I don't never miss. It's amazing how the spirit and the mind seem to always be aligned. It's apparent that it's heaven sent. So I just seek, step, and grind. I just gotta find my excellence. I'm a diamond, I always attract the enemy. I'm the light, so I'm gonna shine like I use Mr. Green. And I can't lie, though, man, my mind is strong as Listerine. And I get hot when I light up on tracks like Krispy Kreme. I feel like we on different teams. I believe in Christ. I battle demons every night, but I still win the fight. God told me I'm the light, I think he's right. I'm sorry that be running through my head like I got lice. Only move at God's speed, so I can't see y'all. The Bible be my manual for life that I could cheat off. Every time I talk about God, it's funny to him, high, he Every time they go low, I go up and feel like seesaws. I eat off. I think this is heaven sent. Now my soul is relevant. I can't go back to hell again. I told the devil I ain't going in there like I'm celibate. I had to find my head again so I could find my excellence. I just seek, step, and grind. That's why I always kill the snake like every time. Feel like I could do this all the time. Just as long as I keep Jesus on my mind. I just seek, step, and grind. That's why I always kill the snake like every time. Feel like I can do this all the time. Just as long as I keep Jesus on my mind. I can do this all the time. I know why I'm alive. You won't never see me settling. I know he the reason why. I just look up to the sky. When I try, I don't never miss. It's amazing how the spirit and the mind seem to always be aligned. It's apparent that it's heaven sent. So I just seek, step, and grind. I just gotta find my excellence.
All right. Hello, hello, my beautiful people. I thank you so very much for joining today. I am here, and before I get started, I want to see here if Kieran is on. Yes, he is. Hello, hello, Kieran.
Hey, I'm trying to figure out how to use this. Can you see me?
I can. I can.
You
I
can see me? How come
you? I can see you and I can hear you.
I can't see nobody? I can't see you at all. Am I supposed to see
Well,
you on here?
I'm not showing my face just yet. Just yet. Um, there's a reason for that. I'm going to show my face in just a few minutes. But welcome everybody. I see Natalie, I see Tiffany, Delilah, Keita. Thank y'all for joining. It's 7:00 and it is right on time. So we're gonna dive right in. I'm gonna go ahead and open us up with prayer. Karen, you cool?
Nah, I'm trying to I'm trying to get it right first because I can't see anything. Am I supposed to see anything?
You should be able to see people, but right now I'm sharing my screen, so that may be affecting it. I don't know.
That might be what it is then. But just
Okay,
wait.
I'm gonna stop sharing in just a minute, okay?
All right.
All right. In the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Father God, we thank you for this moment, for this opportunity to meet again and talk on Tuesday Talks. We are with Kieran the Light, Father God, and we just ask that you lead us and guide us, calm us, and give us the right words to say and the right questions to ask. Father God, we give you all glory, all honor, and all praise. This show is about transformations, Father God, and we are all transforming to be what you want us to be. So we just ask that you continue to have your hand on us and continue to lead us and guide us. We love you and thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, I am so excited. But before we get started, I'm sharing my screen. In case some of you didn't know, I just wanted to make sure to pay tribute to someone who was very loyal and faithful to this show. So if I could just get everyone to Just be silent for a moment. He was 35, Michael Guillory. So 35 seconds of silence just to pay honor and tribute to him. All right, and if I can count right, that was 35 seconds. So thank y'all so much.
Spectral light shine upon him.
All right. You should be able to see my face now, yes?
Yeah, I can see.
Hey. Hey.
What's
Vanessa,
going on?
I
What's going on?
see you. Tasha, hey. Yogi, hello. And Lucy.
Hello.
All right, let me make sure that we are recording. Yes, we are. All right, so Kieran, first, I'm gonna get started by saying hello to you and thank you. Thank you so very much for joining us.
You.
Can you see me now? You can hear me? We good?
Yeah, I can see you. I just have to scroll over. I don't use Zoom, so I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh, okay. Got you. Well, as long as we are good now, I will go ahead and get started. I'm going to read your bio. This is what you sent to me. So I'm going to read it to everyone. Your name is Kieran Jolivet, known as Kieran the Light, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You were once a secular but now Christian artist. You made the decision after living the majority of your life in a dark place due to continuous soul ties that ran you out of emotional stress, depression, lack of faith, failure, insecurities, and constant battles with the enemy that affected you and the lives around you. Feeling so alone in that sunken place, you had nowhere else to turn but to God. And since then, day by day, you've been freed of the chains that hindered you from finding purpose. Now that your eyes are open to your reason for existing, you've decided to answer the call of God and allow Him to use you and your gifts and talents of creating music to make a major switch from secular rap to Christian rap, influencing change in the music industry and in the world to help others to find purpose through their past experiences. I love it.
What with that?
Yes, you did. You did actually. Well, do you want to share anything else about you before I start asking questions?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like you briefly kind of touched on it all. I think when you get with the questions, we'll probably kind of dig into it a little bit more because that, like I said, I forgot that's how much I put in there. That was everything.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get started. Well, first I want to tell everybody that before we started, I was playing music and every song that I played was from you. Kieran actually wrote, created, sung, did everything for Excellence. The song is called Excellence, and he did it for me for 6-Step Grind, Finding Your Excellence. And it's a beautiful song, like I can't get enough. The kids are wanting to make dances out of it. We still got to start that trend here, and I can't wait to do that. So that's exciting. I wanted to, and I'll probably play a few of your songs here and there, maybe a snippet or two, and maybe you can talk about some of them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So our show or this season is about transformation. Can you describe for us what transformation or what you consider transformation to be?
Okay, so you want the long or the short answer?
We got time, so whatever.
All right. Well, first I'm gonna say my idea of transformation is in compliance with what the Word of God says it means to be transformed. So technically I would say that the desires of my heart, I didn't transform personally till the desires of my heart changed. I believe, I'm not mistaken, in the book of Romans, it says how you shouldn't be conformed to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. I'm paraphrasing. I believe that's Romans 2. But, and then you're able to test and approve what God's will is for you. So personally, for me, I didn't, like I said, I didn't transform until the desires of my heart changed. A lot of people, we want a lot of things, whether it's cars, whether it's clothes, whether it's a home, no matter what the situation is. But it's always about, what the reasoning is for why you want these things or the desires. And if it's going to hinder you or is going to bring you closer to purpose, draw you away from God. God isn't going to give you anything that's going to pull you further away from him, not even a little bit. And that's something that I had to learn. And it wasn't until I got to the point where I realized a lot of the things that I wanted, a lot of the things that I was trying to achieve and get to, it wasn't until the point that when I realized that the reason that I wanted these things weren't the reason why I was supposed to have them. And while I was chasing out and praying to be in particular areas that were only going to hinder me from purpose, as I was studying the word, I began to learn that those things that I wanted, if you look at a year ago compared to now, I don't really want anymore. And that's when I realized that I had a transformation in my life. And personally, I believe that a transformation is when the desires of your heart becomes resistant to pulling you away from purpose. And I believe that is what a transformation is. That's for me in particular. I know a lot of people have a lot of different reasons for what they believe a transformation is. Mine is, like I said, is always going to be in compliance with what the word of God says, because that's just the path that I'm on now. So that's what I believe a full transformation would be, is the renewing of what your mind is. So.
All right, thank you. Now I take notes just so I can have something to actually study for myself, because I'm getting ready for my big reveal or transformation. So thank you very much for that. So a transformation just doesn't happen once. Sometimes we transform several different times until we are the person we are destined to be. What would you say has been your biggest transformation?
Definitely when I really put here, what my purpose and my calling was and how to walk in it. The moment that I realized what that was, it transformed. That was the biggest transformation, because it changed every direction and every way that I viewed where I was supposed to be, what I was supposed to do. It changed me as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a son, and in so many different areas. And if you allow me to elaborate on that, I believe that when I'm saying that, when I figured out what I was supposed to be here to do, I had to realize what my calling was. I used to think that a calling and gifts and talents were all together. It's all the same thing. I used to think, oh, well, my gift is what my calling is, or my career is what my calling is. My talent is what my calling is. And it's those things are completely different. Is this screen supposed to be switching like this?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, moving around. But yeah, and I had to realize what my calling was. My calling is a calling is basically what God is calling you to do. Why you are born, why are you put here, and what is it that he's going to use you to do to lead other people to his kingdom. That's what the calling particularly is. I had to realize that my gift wasn't music. My gift are the things that he granted me once I turned my life over to him. There's many different gifts. Personally, for me, I believe that I pray so hard for the gift of wisdom, because that's what I use and apply to my talents, which is music. And I apply that into the gift of being able to create music, which is what's leading other people to their purpose and leading them out of the places that I was in. I also believe that I also have a great gift of teaching that you keep trying to, I feel like, you keep trying to reel me in there, but I'm still get the sauce of it. But I believe that that's also a gift that I do have. And every day I learn more and more about myself, and I learn more of how to teach other people about things with their particular selves, just because we all go through a lot of the same things in similar situations. And that was the biggest transformation for me, finding out what that was. Because before figuring out why I was here, when I say I was going in if I could turn my body anymore that way, that's the opposite direction where I was going. I was the complete other way. So that's the biggest transformation, to answer your question. I know I was long-winded, but biggest transformation was definitely just finding out my purpose and what my calling was, and figuring out what those things actually mean.
Good. Thank you. I'm glad you made the distinction. 6-step grind, the grind part is knowing that God gave you the gifts, the talents, and everything that you need to be successful and to live out your purpose. So thank you for making those distinctions. Last season, we did our health series. So we talked about emotional, spiritual, financial, every part of the health Let's break open some of your transformations. So emotionally, where were you and how did God lift you?
All right. Emotionally, I would say probably the lowest place you could possibly be at is where I was at. I was in like a very dark place for a while, but that was due to my own actions, my own decision making, and the different things that led to me continuing to go deeper into that place. The number one thing was guilt. Guilt would always put me in a place where I felt like God didn't want to talk to me. He didn't want anything to do with me. While it felt like my prayers weren't being answered, anything, because a lot of us, well, I'm not going to talk about everybody, but I know just majority of people don't really have a true relationship with God unless we need something most of the time, or we're kind of in a tough spot need for him to get us out of. And that would be the only time I'd call on God without really even knowing who he was. I just knew, oh, God can fix this if I continue to pray about it. But I continued to put myself in a position where I was so guilty of my actions that I would only go further and further and further into that place. I would find myself where, as you mentioned when you were reading my bio about soul ties, and I could elaborate on what soul ties are deeper, but I found myself in a place where I would go to, whether it was alcohol, whether it was drugs, whether it was fornicating, no matter what it was, just to the temporary relief of trying to get past whatever it is that I was feeling. And I was just stuck in that place because I didn't know how to really like get out of that place. I felt like what I was doing was the right way to fix it. And one of these days, eventually it'll stop. So I find myself not only hurting myself, but hurting others and hurting other people, because I would jump from relationship to relationship to relationship. And like some of my families on here, they know every holiday I had a new woman with me. So, it was like literally like jumping and jumping and jumping and jumping. I'm just being honest. Look,
yeah, but of course.
But and trying to run away from the problem instead of addressing it and approaching it. And that was just the guilt trip that I was on for a long time, year after year after year. Even like during, like as a teenager, that's just where it was. Things I was exposed to, we could go back, whether it's generational curses, no matter what it is, but regardless, it was decisions that I was making. And I believe that what the other question you asked me was, how did he lift me?
Yes.
Out of that place. Like I said, it was for when I had to face that guilt. I had to face those things and finally identify what the problem happened to be. I had to figure out, okay, who's the problem? I would always blame the person that I was connected to or I had this soul tie with. Personally, I don't believe soul ties are biblical. I believe it's an excuse. I believe that a soul tie is something that when someone figure out what that is, they use it as a way of like, oh, I just can't get over this person. Kind of like when a man or a woman says like, oh, I know this person's bad for me, but I just can't leave him alone, or I can't leave her alone, or I can't stop thinking about it, or whatever. That's an excuse. That's a decision. That's something that the enemy makes you feel because you're too afraid of what the results of stepping away from whatever that thing that you're tied to is, what it could happen, the withdrawals you're going to go through, the way you're going to feel. And the feeling of being alone, that's where I was at for a while. I was running away from being alone. So I would run to situations and to different people, people that probably sometimes I didn't have any interest in, but I would pretend to have interest there just to try and make myself feel better, which was selfish. And I had to figure out, the way I was lifted was God teaching me the different ways of selflessness and figuring out how to put myself last and putting everyone else around me first. My mom's on here right now. She actually told me, it was some months ago, and we were having a conversation when she was saying, we were actually kind of going back and forth about something. And then she said, everything's not about you. And I took that as advice because that motivated me to actually begin to, I'm actually still working on a project called Selfless right now. And that motivated me to go into this place of just putting myself last. And the more that you do that, you begin to realize the problems that were going on in your life, because things begin to change. When you're doing everything for you, when you stop doing that, you begin to realize the amount of things in your life that are surrounded by decisions that you're only making for yourself. And like that's what I was saying. He lifted me out of that place with his grace, by showing me that the guilt that I have was the enemy, not him. The guilt that I have could definitely be separated from my heart and from who I am, because those things make me who I am, but they aren't who I am, and so yeah, I believe that's what lifted me out of that place, facing the issue and addressing the issue. So
okay, cool. You mentioned selflessness. So I can't wait to hear or see this project. You also mentioned soul ties. So I want to play a little bit of that real quick.
Yeah.
Some things I've been needing to say to you. This is long, long overdue. Father, forgive me. Lately I've been way too vulnerable. I've been feeling crazy ever since I went too far with you. Now you got my issues for letting me go the distance. And I got all these issues from sleeping with different women. God told us put the drinks down, we steady sipping. The devil prowls at night, took advantage of our condition. He know what he doing, he know when to catch us slipping. He know what he doing, he know we went past our limits. Now you say you depressed, well get in line. Cause now I'm attached to all of your problems and you got mine. And after you, I'll probably go sleep with somebody else and give them all the same problems that you gave to myself. I knew the consequences before I had took these steps. I had made decisions that could have declined my health. I disobeyed you right in your face like you wasn't there. Now I'm steady reaching out to you cause I need help. God.
All right. I love that song. That one is actually on your album, God Told Me.
Yeah.
And you say something in this song, I'm attached to all your problems and you got mine. And I think I've seen this illustration a few years ago where it talks about soul ties, and it's this woman or a man, it's a figure, and it has all these different souls coming out of it. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah. I've seen many.
We are attached to all these different people, and their emotions and all their different things, their baggage. And people don't realize how true that is when we're with this person and that person and this person, and that person was with that person and that person and that person, and those people were with other people, and it's all, bringing it back to you. So tell me, how did that come about for you? Like, why is that particular verse in there?
Yeah, well, and not only that, but a lot of people don't realize we're fighting a battle that's completely outside of this realm that we're in here.
Right.
When you look at things into the spiritual realm, it's spirits that we're fighting. It's spiritual warfare we're in every day. And it could be anything, man. It could literally be the spirit. Someone could have a spirit of anger. They could have a spirit of pride. They could have a spirit of lust. No matter what it is that people are going through, from a spirit of abandonment, rejection. Whenever you give yourself intimately over to someone else in that particular way, it turns you're transferring those spirits into your life, and you're transferring the spirits that you have into someone else's life. And like I said, I was in a position where, like I said, I didn't even probably had actual interest in these people, but it began to feel like that because the soul tie is that spiritual, and emotional connection that you have to someone after being intimate with them, usually most of the time engaging in sexual intercourse, but it doesn't even have to be that. A lot of times it could literally, you could build that with just not even engaging into the intercourse, but just mentally being there with that particular person, causing you to feel unwhole, like you've given up a part of yourself. What's the word I'm looking for? Maybe untangible, that cannot be easily possessed again. So it put me in a place where, like, I couldn't even get rid of particular people in my mind. Now, for me in particular, it was like multiple people that like I would find myself going to just relieve my own emotional distress that I was in. And I would, like I said, that person could be far, far, far away from you, not even in your presence anymore. But since you gave that part of yourself, it's a completely different battle that you're fighting, because now that person's like glued into your mind, and you don't even understand why. And when I put that part, like the entire song, that's probably, I'd say, one of the most powerful songs I'd ever created, because many people don't even like talk about that, or even know what that is. And it literally feels like your soul is tied to another person, which is the perfect way to put it. But I was there. That's where I was, and it was draining me, because it becomes an addiction. You know, it becomes like a place where you feel almost like a drug, you know, like you feel like this is where I'm going for the relief, when you build an entire chemistry off of a sexual foundation and not a holy foundation. So now that you're in that particular place with this person, you built it off of sin. So it's only bad fruit that could come out of that.
Right.
And as that's going on, it continues to, like I said, drain you emotionally, to the point where you feel like you don't even want to talk to God, because you just feel dirty, you feel filthy, you feel like you're trapped in these chains, in this web of ties, because of you giving yourself to someone else. It's not even about the sex. Like, the sex doesn't even matter. It's more so just about where you're at in your life. And that's the scary part of it, because you don't know where that person was in their life. You know, if something could pull you to a place of laying down with another particular person and you don't know why, then that person that you're sleeping with probably don't know why either. So if they don't know why and you don't know why, then y'all are doing this. Y'all definitely transferring a bunch of things that someone is too insecure to speak of. Someone's too insecure to speak up about. Someone's too insecure to share. So they're sharing it intimately with you. And now you're leaving and going to whoever the next person is with the same exact thing, and then taking away from whatever they is. So now it's just literally spiritual. It's really spiritual warfare, because it's coming from everywhere now. And it gets to that point where you find yourself in a place where, you know, sometimes you don't even want to exist anymore. You don't like you don't know how to get rid of it unless you get rid of you, which is the whole goal of the enemy, which is, you know, to steal, kill, destroy at the end of the day. So that's what inspired me for that verse. That was extremely real song right there.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I love all of your music, and
Thank you.
before I get started, I wanted to kind of do a break really quick to ask if there's any questions we can take. Maybe a couple questions before we move on. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So you could either unmute yourself and ask a question, or you can put it in the chat. Hilda, okay. Go ahead and
Just
unmute.
one question. Thank you so much, son. You know, I've always admired you and your whole persona. You talk about transformation, and that's what we're talking about today. But you don't, the answer to your transformation is not ended. You are still transforming, and that's the question.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes. I'm still transforming.
It's a process.
Yeah,
correct?
it's a continuous process. It doesn't end. I believe you transform every day of your life. And
All
that's
of
something,
us.
that I had actually just posted on Facebook. Was it Facebook? I think it was Instagram. Everywhere, actually, I believe the other day. It was Sunday, where I said it was the scripture of the passage, "Do not worry," I believe, in the book of Matthew. And I was basically saying how you don't need to worry about, well, it was saying how you don't need to worry about tomorrow, only focus on today. Tomorrow has enough troubles of its own, you know, so you need to just worry about today. And that's correlated to the question that you just asked, because every single day you learn something new. Every single day you figuring out something new about yourself that you need to change, that you need to do better in, and you become wiser and wiser, and that begins to transform you. Like I said, I didn't really even kind of think about who God was till maybe like early last year. That's not a long time. That's only been like 12 months. That's not a long time. I know some people, it's take them years before they get to a breakthrough and realize exactly who God is. And just over this past year, I feel like I'm a completely different person from who I was at that particular time. Sometimes I look at the person that I used to be in disgust, but at the same time, it's a reminder of who I want to continue.
I don't know how, but I lost.
In progress. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm so proud of you. Love you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. I did something and I lost audio, but can you say something, Kieran? Make sure I can still hear you.
You can hear me? I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. Hello,
Okay.
cousin. What situation just pretty much put you in a state to where you just totally surrendered to God and said, okay, God, I'm done. I'm done doing it all by myself. I want you to just take control.
That pattern of guilt that I was feeling every single day, he stripped every single thing away from me. You know, I was at a place where I was like I said, I was in different relationships, and then relationship after relationship would end this way. that's because it was built off of the same thing. So I'd lose that. My son was living here for a while, and then he ended up moving to California, which I don't believe was something to destroy me, but that also played a huge part in allowing me to have that breakthrough and call on God, and answer to his call, because I was also using that as an outlet to run to. Everything was something for me to run to as a relief. My family could be having a party. I'm gonna go over there to distract me from what it is that's bothering me. And no matter what the situation is. So once I was stripped of everything to the point where I had no choice but to just face what it was that I was dealing with and do something about it, I had no choice. I got to a place where God was the only thing I had never tried before. So yes. It was just like, which is sad at the end of the day, but I got there, and it was just, you know what, let me see, let me just try this. It's free. So
that's right.
It's like, let me try this and see how this works. And as I begin to first I had to just believe in God and believe in accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior, and understand that he did die for my sins, and that everything that I'm in guilt about is okay. I had to realize that first, and but it took a while for me to do that. I went through just so much repetitiveness. I said, I have a new album out right now on my song Lust, where I actually said, I believe one of the lyrics I said was that that's why he let me go through it about 10 times. And it's almost like this caterpillar, is butterfly effect, where it's just like going back and forth, until eventually you get into this idle place of that cocoon stage, where you're kind of just sitting there. And when you're sitting in that spot, it gets to a point where it's like, okay, like something's got to happen. And you get to that place of giving up. And as I was in that place, that's when he began to work into my life. And as I didn't even begin reading the word. Like I wasn't even reading the Bible. I wasn't doing any of that. I just was I was just praying, like just hoping that he heard me. And slowly doors began to open for me. But first I had to accept the fact that he had to close some doors first. And that's the hard part, because many people don't like doors to be closed. They want doors to open and still keep a crack in the other ones, with little, everybody, they want a little something there still. I want to bring this with me, and I still want this, and it's not. It don't work like that. Like I said earlier, when you're conformed to the patterns of this world, that's the reason you're conformed to it, and you believe that this is normal, that wanting this and the way that this is supposed to go, that's how it's supposed to be, just because of the way that the things that you saw growing up, or the things that you saw at school, and the things that this person has and this person has, and what this person does, you personally believe that's how things are supposed to go. And it's not. And I had to realize that and put the desires of my heart somewhere else. And once I got to that point of realizing, like I said, a year ago compared to now, when I look at the desires of my heart that I had then, and look at the reason that I had that I wanted those things, I realized that it's completely different. I don't want those things for the same reason anymore, because I know that God knows that with the mind of Christ, I realized that any of those things that I wanted back then for those reasons would pull me away from him. And now I'm afraid of that. So I don't want to be in that place anymore. But if I am answering your question, I believe you asked me what brought me to that place. And what brought me there was that just having to sit on my own in that place, facing those issues, because I was pushing people away. Like I said, I had different spirits upon me that I had to, first off, I had to get the discernment of all of these spirits, figure out what it is that's on me, like what's going on, where is this coming from, why am I like this, why am I pushing people away, why do I rub people the wrong way, why is this? And I was angry, I was lustful, I was prideful, I was so many different things. And when therapy isn't what was going to help me with that. It was me having to straight up face that. Like it was in my face, and it was horrible, like it was a hard process. But I just posted yesterday, I said, the wisdom that I have now was worth it.
But some things that you stated as you evolve, even if you reach back on some of those things that you may experience again, through life experiences, you can go and tackle those things in a different way.
Right. And that's the testimony. And that's when the wisdom comes in, because, a fool is going to continue to do the same thing. And I was a fool, and I'm able to say that. But when I look back at those things. I used to be ashamed, like when I didn't even want to talk about those things. Kind of like in my music. I know Marisha wanted me to come and talk about a lot of things at a particular time. I wasn't ready to speak on those things because I was still running from those things. But now when I look back at those things, looking back at it only gives me all the words to say. You know, if I don't look back, I'm never gonna know where I'm going. I don't know what not to do. I know more of what not to do than what to do, which is better to me. So when I look at who I was, and I realize now that the continuous mistakes that I made, mistake after mistake after mistake, all had purpose. It all had purpose. And when it's in my music, whether it's sitting right here, right now, talking to everybody on here, I wouldn't be able to say the things that I'm saying if I didn't look back at those things, if I didn't use the place that I was in order to be here. Now I'm at a place where, as a 26-year-old, I feel like I'm in the mind of like a 40-year-old person. Just
oh
because,
my God, 26! You couldn't tell. I couldn't tell.
You know, but that is just because of it's you get to that point where you don't want to continue doing the same thing. It just gets old. It gets old because I learned after 20 times that, like, okay, I'm going to continue to fall flat on my face every time I do this, or this is going to feel like this every time I do this. It may feel great right now, but I know how it feels after because I did it 20 times. I remember that feeling all 20 of those other times when I fell, and I don't like. And eventually you'll fall.
My testimony. Kieran, I'm going to go ahead and play just a little bit of Lust, and then I'm going to jump back into my questions, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Getting rid of bad habits, it takes patience. I got a weakness and it keep me anxious. I've been running for my life like police chasing. I made a promise to myself and I can't break it. Delilah been trying to annoy me. She want me to lose the anointing. I hear her, she screaming, she losing her voice cause she knocking me down and I still keep rejoicing. I'm fearless, she don't understand my path. She ain't know I was a man like that. She ain't know I was a part of God's plan like that. She ain't think that when I fell I was gonna land like that. No, I know that I'm so far ahead, but I still feel like I'm hanging on by a thread. I'm still on the edge. Delilah, get out of my head, cause it's time. I told Jezebel, not this time. She ain't know she was used to get me in line. She ain't know that God had me on the incline. That's why he let me go through it.
All right. Man, okay.
Your attention, I was trying to tell you to turn it down a little bit because I think it was kind of distorted.
Loud? Okay. I'll remember that next time. I remember that next time. Thank you. And you see, and I never look when I play, because I was trying to write in this song. You said you made a promise to yourself, and you also said that Delilah keeps on screaming. So I think that those are two really important points, right? You made a promise to yourself. A lot of times we make promises to ourselves, and there's no follow through. There's no commitment, right? And then
it's a commitment. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Say what?
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you finish.
Oh, and then Delilah. So I know who Delilah is, but just talk a little bit about Delilah and that point for me.
Well, Delilah in the book of Judges, Samson was I'm trying to figure out how to explain this, but Samson was in the book of Judges as basically a judge that God had used at the time when there weren't any kings at the time, and he had someone in order to protect the Israelites from the Philistines at the time. And Delilah was basically the woman who they used to go and figure out how to basically find out the secret of his anointing, which was his strength that came from his hair. And his weakness clearly was his lust, where he would give in to Delilah and she would basically use that in order to get him to admit what the anointing was and where he got his strength from so that they could be able to, take him down and everything. And in my life, the reason why, were you asking me how I applied that to my life or?
Yes.
Okay. The way that applies to my life and everything was just, like I said, with the lust that I dealt with. That was the spirit that's been on me just all my life, just from being just always, like I said, running into those situations where I would find myself trapped in these soul ties. And I look at myself kind of like Samson in a situation where Samson, his pride, I believe, got the best of him because he knew that the anointing that was on him was so strong that it didn't matter. He knew that regardless of what he was doing, whether it was being disobedient to God, he was still going to be able to just get up and just continue to use his strength and do the things that he was doing in order to serve God. Whereas he allowed a woman who he was fornicating with to snake him, I would say, out of the anointing that he had, and he lost it, because it'll get you trapped into sex. Will get you trapped into that place where I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Delilah was a prostitute. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. She was, I believe. Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure like it wasn't like an in love relationship that he had with her, but I believe he was so the stronghold that she had on him, just with that particular thing, which was sex, pulled him away from the anointing. And now I'm at a place in my life where I know what I'm here for, and I know what I'm supposed to be doing. But Satan knows my weaknesses because he knows my testimony as well. He also knows where I came from. He knows what I overcame. So now I believe he tries to use those things. Funny, the bigger this fan base gets, the more women that throw themselves at me at this point. And it's like, it's at a point where now the real test comes in. It's like, oh, you thought you were sinning before, watch this, you want to do this. So I realize it now when I'm seeing different people tell. I had a woman last week tell me she had another dream that I had a dream I was her husband. So it comes to the point where like that's like the fourth person that told me that. So it's like when it comes down to it, it's like, okay, I think I see what's going on here. All right, the pattern is going to happen, and it just reminded me of Delilah. It feels like, man, somebody's trying to get me out because I'm already where I'm supposed to be. I have a wife. I'm already where I'm supposed to be. God already has me in these different in everything that could pull me away. I can't focus on that because I have everything that I need to keep myself closer to him. And I see there's a lot of Delilahs out here, which is a spirit actually, and that could also be in a man. So I'm not going to just talk about women, but Delilah is a spirit that can also travel through men, and people will use that a lot, literally to just pull you in, and it'll distract you from the purpose that you are called here for. And like I said, this is a different battle that you're fighting. It's not the flesh. Once you wrestle, we don't wrestle with flesh and blood. So the moment that you give into the flesh, the moment that you look at flesh and you blame it on the flesh, you lost. That's not what it is. You got to look at the spirit that's within the person. And when you are able to get the discernment of these spirits and realize, man, I feel like this person isn't someone that I'm supposed to be around. This person's trying to pull me away from purpose. If anything that any person that you're around is hindering you from something that is bringing you closer to God, that's probably a Delilah spirit, especially if it's something that is trying to come your way intimately, because it's going to use something as simple as, fornication, sex, or flattery, to distract you, knock you kind of, off of your high horse a little bit and everything. And I found myself, in a place where like I was beginning to become distracted by these things, because you have to keep in mind that that's also where I came from. Just because I'm saved, people believe that just because you're saved, you're not that. You don't still have those same desires, or the flesh isn't there anymore, or whatever. It's still there. The spirit's willing, but the flesh is weak at the end of the day. And you're still going to be in the same exact situation, but you're just going to have, now the rules, which now, since you're held accountable for it. So that's just where that's where I was at. That led me to put that in the particular song, and God just kept leading me to that book with Samson over and over again. I was like, I think I'm gonna make a song about this because it just applied to my life so much.
Okay, I have you mentioned Leah. Please give her hugs and kisses. I wish she was on with us today. But there's a song that you made specifically for her. I will play that, but I want to get back to the interview part because of time, for the sake of time. So, and we've been talking about your music, but I consider myself your biggest fan. Now, I know your mom and I know Vanessa, they always say that they're your biggest fan, but it's really me.
Could I just...
I love your music because of the transparency in your lyrics. You tell your story without hesitation. You tell your story and it helps so many people. So why do you think it's important to speak your truth?
Speak your truth. Well, two things. You don't want to contradict yourself. And I feel like if I got to a place where I had to learn how to practice what I preach. So if I'm not doing the things that I'm saying in my music, it makes it invalid. Number two, like if I'm gonna tell I can't say anything that's false, because otherwise it's going to be against purpose. It's just going to be leading people the complete wrong way. But what's so interesting about my music is I feel like, you said you're my biggest fans. Personally, I feel like I'm my biggest fan just because I learned so much from my own music. It's crazy. Like a lot of times I go back and listen to my own transparency to kind of wake myself back up again and realize, like, who I am again, and bring me back every time I fall. And that's why it's so important to speak my truth, because before, when I was a secular artist, everything I was saying was a lie. I mean, sure, like when I would speak of sex, I guess, but I mean, I would still I would still exaggerate that, I would still do whatever it took to fit in. I would do whatever it took to make the best song, that sounded like everybody else on the radio to try to get, where I wanted to be. So I believe now when you speak your truth, it's funny, man. I believe, just like I said, the fruit that's producing from my music goes to show why you should speak your truth. Because I literally came from, you heard my music before this, I came from a secular artist to a Christian artist, and me continuing to keep my truth in my music keeps people even more attached to it than they were before when I made the secular music. And I think that's the difference between what I got going on compared to the other Christian rap or music that's going on, because most Christian music is Jesus, 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 Jesus. You don't do this, you're going to hell, you're going to hell, you're going to hell. Nobody wants to hear that. A lot of people don't want to feel that conviction every time they listen to music. They want to hear things they relate to. For instance, when I'm talking, just about every time I finish talking, you say, you're speaking my life. I don't even know your life. I just know mine, but it correlates and relates to you so much from what I'm saying. So when you're driving in your car and you in the melodies behind it and you listening to it, why wouldn't you want to listen to it when it sounds like it was made just for you? So I believe that's why it's important to speak your truth, because the same way that I was pulled out of that place could pull somebody else out of that place with what I'm saying. And if I'm lying, then I'm going to lead somebody else to a lie, if that's what I'm trying to push. So I believe it's very important to keep a lot of the truth and honesty and integrity in my music, which many artists don't do these days. So.
True. Now, there was a question in the comment, and I will address that in a moment. It was something that you and I had talked about before. Is your music, and you probably have already answered this, but is your music therapeutic for you?
Yeah, that basically is what I just said. But therapeutic is like the perfect word for it, because like I said, it brings you to reality of your own life. A lot of people don't like to admit their own faults because it's just hard to do that. Like there's stubbornness within all of us, and this pride within all of us that's just in the flesh. That's just how we were born, where we will rather point the finger at the other person before pointing at ourselves. That hurts too much. The conviction of that just hurts too much. So when you listen to my music, cool, let me be that. I'll be the voice of the voiceless then. I'll get on the music and I'll say it. And I feel like with me saying it inspires other people to look at their life and say, wow, maybe it is cool to say what's really going on in my life. Maybe this is what's going on. If he could say it, I could say it, and sure, the things that I say are very, very transparent. It gets real raw, but at the same time, I feel like I do it in such a creative way that you're able to still vibe to and listen to it, and it cuts you so deep that you realize that when the song go off, you're like, hold on, let me rewind that, play that back, and then you play it again. It's like, okay, I need to go work on that. I need to go fix this, because clearly I'm not the only one. And I believe that's what everybody in the world kind of just wants. They don't want to feel like they're the only one, because when you're sitting in an area, I believe everybody that's in this conversation right now has a particular thing or insecurity in their life that they probably they know they will not admit to somebody else, or they don't want to, at least. And when you hear me touch on that in a particular song, guess what that almost frees you from that, because it makes you feel like, okay, I'm not the only one. He feels like that too. It's normal. So then you get to that point where you realize, okay, I could change this. I could fix this. I could figure something out because he did. And instead of, flexing about it in my music, I more so use it as a way to get other people to come up out of their shell. I see so many other people saying, man, you're making me want to go do music now again. Are you making me want to do this? Are you making me want to change this? And And that's the whole purpose of it. And it's not me. It's really not. Like, I'm using my testimony, but when I say, I think in every song I say is God written. A lot of people don't understand what that means. And man, I just let the Spirit just lead me when I'm writing this stuff. And it's literally just my life experiences that produces this wisdom. And truly, I believe that that's the reason why it's so therapeutic to other people, because it's almost like a medicine when someone hears that somebody else is in the same situation as them. It sucks if that you're in that particular situation, but when you feel that someone else is in it, you're not alone, and no one wants to feel alone. And that's always the most horrible place to be, in that alone place, because you feel like God isn't going to be as forgiving of you because of that. And when you see that, you know, if I say something like I'm addicted to sex and you're addicted to sex, guess what? Now it's not as much of a hindrance on you. It's not so much of a stronghold on you, because you hear somebody else relates to that particular thing and you realize that that's normal, which it is. You know, I mean, everybody has a different thing that they're battling with. And I believe as hard as it is sometimes for me to put it in my music, I'm slowly opening up as I go. And this is only the beginning. This is before the beginning, you know? So I'm still opening up. There's more and more, because every single time I drop music, I feel like God tells me go deeper. And I'm like, what? Like, come on. Like I'm putting it there. And some people say, man, I feel uncomfortable listening to this. I know all your business, man. It's like, hey, you know, I know yours too, clearly, you know, because I mean, when I said what I said, it touches people to that place. So I believe it is therapeutic. That's my opinion, but I let the people speak for that, you know.
Okay. So you said a mouthful in that last segment, and I'm building up for the finale of this season is actually going to be my transforming. So there's a lot of things that people don't know about me that they may be really shocked to hear. But I think it's therapeutic for me to be able to reveal that so that I can help heal and grow. You dropped several hits. Is there a particular favorite? Is there a favorite for you?
It's like the hardest question in the world.
I know.
Matthew 7:15, I'd probably say is my favorite song of my.
Okay.
The reason for that is because I feel like I don't even remember where I was when I was recording, when I wrote that song. It just was so, that song brings me back every time I listen to it. Because when I speak of that spiritual realm that I believe that we should look into, that we should always be in and not of this world, that particular song I'm speaking on so much, where you know, that particular scripture, once again, I'm paraphrasing, but it's to beware of false prophets, you know, who come to you dressed in sheep's clothing, but you know, I believe on the inside ravishing wolves. I believe that's the scripture. Correct me, anybody on here, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's it. And when I made that particular song, I was in a place where I was trying to find God, and I was listening to everybody around me instead of God. There were people that were coming to me saying they were prophets, that they knew this, they knew that, and oh, it's gonna happen in your future, and this is gonna be like this. And I was listening to a lot of those things, and I would live my life based off of what other people were saying, and the hopes of what other people had for my life instead of what God had for my life. And it was confusing me, and God isn't the author of confusion. And when I realized that, and I got to that point of my life, I wrote that song, and every single time I listened to that song, that was a switch in my life. Like that particular song was a switch in my music. And when I made that song, it opened my eyes to the deception, you know, that was around me in my life. And it separated me from a lot of things. And I had to isolate myself and be able to cleanse myself of everybody else's opinions, and only walk in the same pattern, on that same path that God wanted me to walk on. And like I said, that's literally my comeback song. If I'm in a slump, if I'm somewhere, like for me personally, I listen to that song, and now I don't listen to it as me rapping. I listen to it as the artist talking to me when I listen to that song. And I guess that answers the question you asked before about therapeutic. So
I'm gonna actually play that one, and I'll try to not have it so loud. I will tell you that Natalie actually posted something similar to this a couple days ago. I had this conversation at work yesterday. Like, we have to be aware of who we're allowing to speak into our lives, because there are a lot of people, like someone prophesied to me a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh my God, how did she know that? You know, I didn't know that she even knew about my personal life. Like, where did she get that from? And a reverend yesterday told me, oh, Marisha, you'd be surprised the information she could have gotten from X, Y, and Z, you know? But
Come on, Marisha, speak.
let me go ahead and play that song. I'm gonna try not to play it so loud so everybody can hear it. Thumbs up if it's a right
Is it
sound.
on? Because I don't hear anything.
Yeah, it's on.
Just because something isn't a lie,
Okay.
don't mean that it's not deceptive. A liar just tells lies, but one who speaks mere portions of truth in order to deceive is a craftsman of destruction. God told me let him know it's real. It's only two options, heaven or hell. Satan make it look so parallel. He be lying to us, he be everywhere. Got us going in circles like carousels. He just trying to get the people under the spell. Jezebel had thought he'd never tell. God never fails, I know him very well. False prophets. He sent me to shine on the darkness. I'm hearing it's all stopping. I'm protected because all of my angels with me and they all about it. God sent me here to change the world and they all doubted. They still doubted. Satan steady trying to Uber drive me to manipulate me into choosing lies. Want to give me more thoughts of suicide, so I look at life like it's do or die. Mama told me to get some help, I asked why. She said, cause you scaring me. My sister told me the same thing. I said, God is my only therapy. I am still in love with God's daughter. For a minute now, I didn't even see her. The enemy had my whole vision blurry, had me thinking like I didn't need Leah. Thank the Lord that she an earth angel. Couldn't end it if we wanted to. Asked her why she was still here. She told me she won't never let me cut her loose. Watch out for the snakes. Disguise is beauty in front of the darkness is right in your face. They know that you're hungry and starving you out, so keep watching your plate. Don't share your emotions with Satan. Be careful, beware of the fakes. They right in your face. You can hear what they saying as long as you know not to follow behind. Anything that you hear but don't feel, just know that it's all a facade. Deception be all in the air, he just wanting control of your mind. Don't let no one tell you about what you got coming unless it is God. Satan, I know. For a minute you thought that you had me, but I know. God told me everything, now I know. Deception all of your demeanor. Too many nights I've been sleeping. Me and God, we've been speaking. I can't let you in between us. I ain't going off the deep end. I build straight from my weakness. What you sow, you go reap. What you sow, you go reap. The enemy is a master of gradual deception. In the darkness. But I am the light.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm your biggest fan. I think that you are a lyrical genius, and I know that that's all God inspired. It's all God written. I know that's what you were gonna say. Saved you.
I have to say that. I have to say
In this song, man, okay, you say Satan trying to Uber drive me. That by far was like the coldest line. Um, God is my only therapy. What you sow, you go reaping. I mean, you just keep it so real, and I truly appreciate that. So I was going to do this. Let me see if I can. Let me see. I want to read some random yet positive Instagram comments. Okay. No, was it Insta? I don't know if it was Instagram or Snapchat. I can't remember. But the other day I was on because you had posted a song and you were like, should I make this on my album? And I'm like, yeah, duh, because it sounded so great. So everybody kept saying yes. To answer your question, yes, please make this song. My phone is overheating over the lyrics. Please chill. I just got the phone. I mean, okay, confirming everything I keep saying. Yo, imagine a collab with Lecrae. I'm tagging Lecrae. Um, what go harder than the beat, or what go harder, the beat or his flow? I mean, it's just okay, brother. I love your music. I did a backflip in my car when you said I transformed on them like the bus sit challenge. I mean, it's just you take what's happening today and you make it so real. It's so relevant. I love it. I'm amazed every time I hear something. Um, so of course, all glory goes to God
Yeah.
for all the work that he's doing through you. How do you feel knowing the impact you have on so many people?
That's what keeps me going. You know, like when if I was doing like when I was talking about fruit, about producing the fruit, you know what I'm saying? That when I look at that and I see that, like I think the one you were reading, I think it has almost 100 comments on it, like 80 something comments on it.
No, honey, it had over 300 comments when I looked at it days ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But I guess I'm being humble. But but no, like, yeah, seeing that is what keeps me going. Like, it's funny. I just said this the other day. I was like, man, every time I drop a video, somebody comments and says, man, we need more music. I'm like, what? Like, I feel like I drop something like every week, you know? So it's like, let me take a break, you know what I'm saying? But when I see that, it's only God confirming for me more and more, because something I prayed on more than anything was just, God, please reveal to me what my purpose is and if I'm supposed to be doing this, because I don't want to waste my time. But it seemed like every time since a child, I've been able to create music, and when I do it, for some reason, it gets an effect it gets a positive effect from other people. Even when I made secular music, people just really loved it. They started, and I was really good at it. I don't know anything else I'm that great at, you know, not that great. So it's like, I feel like when I see people commenting on the things that you're saying, like, and they make me laugh like all the time, and people say great things, and there's the negative stuff, but I mean, the positivity just drowns it out. And when I see those comments, it allows me to continue to do this, because it goes to show that it's bigger than me. And that's what a lot of people don't realize about a calling. A calling from God isn't about you. That's which right. Also to that, back into that place about me talking about being selfless. Everything that goes into your calling is about serving others. And when I'm seeing the effect that my music have on people like you know, people like everyone in the comments and everyone else, it goes to show, okay, clearly what I just went through yesterday that has me in this horrible place is.
Sorry.
Is clearly something that God is trying to use for me to put into something else to help somebody else. And do I hate it? I hate it a lot. I hate going through the things that I go through, but I'm beginning to learn every day that those things have purpose. And it's funny, because as much as I say I hate the things that I go through, when I go back and listen to my music where I'm talking about it, I'm like, man, like, I'm glad I went through that, because if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't have been able to write that the way that I did. And yeah, I love seeing the reaction of people. That's why, like, everybody keeps saying that about Lecrae. They keep saying about these people. You can't tell me Lecrae ain't seen my name on something. People done tag him every time I drop something. They get to tagging everybody. You know, so. It's funny, actually, somebody, I think Michael B. Jordan actually posted a video listening to my song, I think on TikTok or something the other day. I forgot what, somebody was telling me about it. And a lot of people, man, it's amazing, because I've never been in a situation where this many people, where a congregation of people like this were just that attached to what I have. It's a difference between liking it and wanting it more. Like, people, it's like I'll drop a song or an album today, and then by the weekend they're like, come on, we need some new stuff. And I'm like
yeah, because you give it so often, and it's oh my God, it's great. It really is great. There was a question that came up in the comments that said, do you ever dwell on any of the negative comments? Like, I guess, does that drive you?
It aggravates me more than anything, and I'm trying to get past that, because I'm still human. So sometimes, like, Leah Leah tells me a lot of times, she'd be like, I'll be and wrote a whole paragraph. She's like, don't post that on there. Don't comment that. Don't say that. Just let that person say that or whatever. Because sometimes somebody get on there and say something negative, and my own fans will hop on there and get on them. Like, they'll be like, first of all, that's not what he meant. You need to chill out. Like, stop. People just, I feel like a lot of people get on there, which Satan, that's Satan, man. A lot of people get on there and they just want to, they want to just cause controversy sometimes. I feel like a lot of times people that are negative, they don't even believe the stuff they're saying. They just hop on there and just say something just to troll what you got going on. Like, somebody asked me this morning if I wear makeup, and the reason, and I look like I wear makeup on my videos, and that's not biblical, I'm going to hell. And I just, like, oh,
Okay.
I just take that as a compliment, I guess. I guess, but no, I don't wear makeup. That's what I mean. And I didn't even put that on.
That's 15.
Or like when I'm wearing my cross and they're like, take that idol off of your neck, or different things, or stop worshiping. Jesus isn't real. Somebody just commented that the other day. Jesus isn't real. God is a deception. Like crazy stuff. And people put things like that on there. But I gotta also understand that that's what comes with this. You know, that's what comes with this transformation with following Jesus. Clearly, it's a minority. You know, when it comes down to this community, many people. There's many people that don't believe in Jesus Christ, you know, and I have to understand that the positive things that come with what I'm doing, that's great, but I have to understand that negative things come with it. And when I think about Jesus, I know he understands that more than anyone else, you know. So I believe God called me to put my music into the streets, not a particular church. So I believe those people that are negative, that's who my music's for anyway. And the fact that they even took the time to write out what they said on my comment, hey, it only goes to show that it's reaching the right people. So it, like I said, it could be aggravating at times because I feel like I put a lot of hard work into what I do for somebody. After this long 60-second message that I just posted, all you saw was that I look like I got makeup on. I thought that was strange, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not too worried about it as much. I'm beginning to grow, so I don't really care that much about what people were really saying. So I don't dwell on it, if that's what the question is. Not anymore, at least.
I know you don't take your calls to lead God's people to him lightly. So what do you expect next with your music?
What do I expect next? Do you mean as of like what I'm working on, or?
What do you expect next? Like, what do you see next for you in the next 2 years, 3 years?
I see somebody stumbling across my music that could possibly put me in a bit of a better position. Not looking to sign to any particular record labels or anything. I have studied the industry and a lot that goes into that. I know that Satan is very heavy into that, unless God calls me to go into the music industry itself. But I want to do a lot of things independent. I believe that I've grown 250,000 followers, you know, on a platform, just me and him. You know, Leah shoots my videos. I go to the studio, I rap. I don't use, there's nothing.
So you mean to tell me that's Leah doing all of that? I'm gonna have to bring her to Rain.
Yeah, I be trying to like we don't listen like. Yeah, that's literally her doing it like every single time. Rain, sleet, snow, it don't matter. Like we out there, we shooting a video. She's at the studio, and it's just me and her. That's it. And it's funny because I see so many people every day spending thousands of dollars trying to shoot videos and doing this and that. It's like, man, a lot of people don't understand. When you got God with you, you're the one who told me.
That's all you need.
You told me to get on TikTok, and at first I had to pray on it for a while, and then a couple other people told me. And when I got on there, look what happened. Mm-hmm. You know, so. And that was without anything. Now, when you look at my videos, you look at it and you probably think I'm doing something really big with it, but it's literally just, I'll go outside. I'll be like, hey, that's a nice spot. Let's shoot something right there. Boom.
And they look amazing. It looks amazing. Yes.
He shoots it. I edit it. It takes me all of maybe like 5 minutes. I put it out. I'm at a point now though, where I think we've done like 100-some videos. We've been doing it since last March. So, I mean, at this point now, it's at a point where I know I kind of like plan my videos ahead of time and stuff and everything. So, and we have an algorithm that we follow now when we do it. We figured out the whole trend of it and everything, but we work together when we do it. It's literally just me and her. When I say there's nothing else assisting this, it's literally that. It's my iPhone 11 Max Pro and Leah. That's it. Like,
okay, Apple, who has not sponsored this show.
You know, like, and people.
That is awesome. That's awesome. Okay. So you're talented. Say again?
I don't even think I answered your question, but no, I do see myself in a much higher place for sure. Like I feel like before the end of this year, I'll probably be somewhere. If I continue being persistent with what I'm doing and just trusting God with it, I think that I'll be in a place where like so many more people are gonna be able to know who Kieran the Light actually is. So
it's already done, cousin. It's already done.
Yeah.
Already done. You're extremely talented, and I say that all the time, and I'm being very honest. I'm not saying that because we're related, not at all.
I believe you.
You really
Every,
are.
every time I send you something, you call me, you let me know, like Kieran, this was just.
Oh, really, Kieran? That's how I do. Is that how I?
Hey, look, you ain't play Marisha's interlude. You know what I'm saying? Hear yourself on there. Huh?
You know what? I thought about playing that tonight. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Like I said about the people in the comments, you one of them that keep me going, because like I'll listen and be like, man, I wonder if they like this song or what I said right there, and then you'll call me and confirm, Kieran, what you just said. Oh my. That was just that. Look, I'm trying to sound like you, but that's usually how you sound when you call me. And I'm telling you, every time it motivates me more and more to continue doing what I'm doing. I believe you. I appreciate it.
Of course. Okay, so Kieran has jokes. He appears to take me. Okay. So my next question is, if God hadn't given you the gift of music, that gift or that talent, what would you be doing to build his kingdom, and how else do you think he would be using you?
I've been like trying not to say this for so long, but I truly feel like I'd probably be preaching.
Okay.
And I never wanted to do that. Like I still kind of don't want to do that. But when I speak to people, man, like outside of music, when I speak to people, like I'm at a point now where I think a lot of people have been watching my journey. At first, it was something I think people had to kind of get used to, but now that they're watching it and seeing that, okay, it looks like he's really doing this, and I'm getting deeper and deeper. And the more music I put out, you can see as the wiser I get, and I'm getting better when it comes to putting out videos and speaking. It changes and touches people's lives just as much when I talk to them. And I have like a lot of people that I have kind of just on message threads that hit me up just for a little motivation. They're like, hey man, will God be mad at me if I do this? And it's like, I feel like God's opening that door for me to kind of, let them know, the things that I went through, the places that he put me out of, and why the little things that you feel like is holding you back from a purpose is they aren't. And I just know how to sometimes break things down in a way where people could understand it a little better without feeling judged or feeling embarrassed or feeling like they're telling too much of their business. So I don't know. And I know we talked about false prophets, but I know many people like have been prophesying to me about one day you're going to be a preacher. I got a lady that every time I see her, she calls me pastor. And I'll be like, stop calling me that. She was like, no, I'm not calling you. I'm not going to stop till you embrace it. And I'm just like, I don't know, maybe later in time, I don't know. But I kind of feel like he would have me in some position where I'm speaking in some way. I think it's just the voice. I think something with my voice, I believe. That's just what I think. I'm not athletic at all.
Your voice. Okay. Last year, you were very productive. Like, you were dropping music every time I turned around. And just curious, what does this year hold? What projects are you working on? I know Selfless.
Yeah, definitely the Selfless project. God has been like pulling on my heartstrings for God told me to. Just because a lot of people they're like, man, that's my favorite project you ever made. God told me, I don't care what you put out, everything goes hard, but that's the best. I'm like, all right, cool. But it's something else that wants me. I feel like I want to make a sequel to that. But personally, I think I'm just gonna be dropping. Like, there's probably not gonna be a month that passed that I don't drop music. I think I dropped like 40 something tracks last year, and I didn't realize it until the year was over, and I went count everything, and Leah made that big collage, and I was like, wow, I really made a lot. And now I think I'm going for like. I think all year I'm about to just be dropping music. It's gonna be a lot though, because I got a lot. I thought I would run out of things to say, but I guess that's why the trials and tribulations I go through keep happening, and now I'm beginning to embrace them without them, pulling me down or bringing me to that depressing place. And now I persevere, through those trials and those things, and I accept them, and I embrace what I go through. So because I know every time I see something small starting to creep through that crack, like that's trying to aggravate me, it's like up straight to the pen and pad. Let me put this down. And like I said, everybody keeps saying every time I drop something, put something else out. So it's like I'm just gonna continue to do it. If I gotta drop every week, So hopefully, like I said, throughout the year, you will continue to see me putting out more and more and more music, because no matter what, we could be on lockdown, quarantine, whatever, it ain't gonna stop my voice at the end of the day, and I'm gonna still be able to do what I'm doing. So even if I gotta just hop on there and freestyle, you know, I'm gonna figure out some way to use my talent.
Oh,
You know?
oh, okay. Okay. I'm making a mental note of that part.
Yeah. The queen of putting me on the spot, I'm sure.
I'm not putting you on the spot tonight. I'm not. I'm gonna read a comment here that says, this is from Lady Hilda. I thank you so much. I'm going to go, but he needs to be in Lake Charles virally, if not in person, for the 13th. You are awesome. Keep Delilah at bay. Love you much. Okay. So the reason I'm mentioning that, I said I was going to hold on to that comment. That's the conference I was telling you about, the youth conference. But I know you're booked for that day. So, but that's what she was talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
still trying to figure that out. Like I said, Lila for a lot of things. Like I just did an interview at the House of Blues last weekend, and got some stuff setting up for them. I was trying to perform there and some other things, but just so happened to land on that weekend for some stuff that I have. But if it was to open, like I said, I'm gonna just pray on it and see, you know, if God's gonna leave me to do it and stop running away from it. Cause you know, I think I ran away from you a couple of times, but I'm here now. So I had to, like I said, I had to find me though. I didn't know who I was at the other time when you wanted me to. I didn't want to hop on nothing with you giving me a microphone. I'm just talking, don't know what I'm talking about. You know, I like to at least get up and know and be confident in what I'm saying and let God lead me and everything. So like I said, it's not a no, you know, but I'm still waiting to get some confirmation on that particular weekend about some stuff. So
Understood. Kieran, you have been very delightful, very open, very honest, and I appreciate you. That's all the questions that I have. We spent over an hour with you, and I truly enjoyed it. Yes, I know it went by so fast. I truly enjoyed it. I'm gonna do the point in the night where I just open it up for comments or questions, people to show you some love. So they could either put it in the comment box or they can unmute themselves and talk.
There's a comment box?
Well, yeah, people been chatting. They've been chatting.
How do I get to that?
Well, you should be able to just toggle down and it'll say chat.
Yeah, I didn't even. Oh. I've been seeing little messages popping up at the bottom, but I don't. Okay, maybe it's right. Oh, there it is. Okay. Denying self daily. So okay.
I'm opening it up. If anybody has any questions, any comments, want to show them some love.
Guess not.
This is your cousin Keita. Kieran, I just want to say I'm so proud of you, and I'm so thankful that you're walking in God's calling and this purpose for your life. And I just pray and wish, which I know God is going to continue to use you, but you continue to walk in the steps that He's ordered for your life. So blessings to you and your family.
Thank you, and same to you as well. It's definitely been a blessing. So in the journey and still walking, so I appreciate it so much.
Kieran, last season we after the show, a lot of people would just hang out, and it was called the after party.
Oh, y'all be tough, huh?
Let me read this one. This one is from Tasha. She says, "This was great, very knowledgeable. You have a great demeanor, and I could see you on the pulpit. LOL."
Yeah, I be trying to tell comments, man. I'm trying to look. I feel like that's where I'm probably gonna end up for sure. But I know He's got me assigned to something else right now with this music, and I'm trying to just fulfill that particular part of purpose right now. And like I said, I'll continue to be led and see where it goes. But I appreciate that compliment for sure.
Yolanda raised her hand. I'm looking for the box. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank.
I wanted to shut up, Kieran. Kieran, you did very well tonight. I always like listening to you when you talk, when you speak. You always keep my attention going. You surprise me every time you come out with anything, music, whether it's just giving advice to people. I just like listening to you. So I just wanted to say thank you for being the person you are, my son. I'm proud of you. I know you will do well. You have always done well. I want to thank Marisha just for taking the time out to have you on her show and to allow everybody to hear about your story and your testimony and all your wonderful blessings. So now everybody gets to know all of the secret and the background information. Thanks to Marisha. And all the questions were great tonight. So, and Kieran answered them very well. So I just wanted to say thanks to Marisha and to Kieran.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I was actually super excited about you being on here because I honestly think this was our first time like being on something together where like you actually saw me open up about like a lot of these things. Cause like I was mentioning earlier when I was speaking, I think a lot of people don't like to open up mostly because of the people that they know. Knowing them and judging them. People, we could fall down and embarrass ourselves in front of a bunch of people that we don't know, get up, never see them people again, and it don't mean nothing. But it's always the people that's the closest to you that you're more worried about because that's the people you have to face. That's the people that you go see. That's the people you might hurt. That's the people you might say something that rubbed the wrong way. And I liked that you were on here because honestly, as uncomfortable as I usually am with people that I know, I was very comfortable with you being on here, and I kept the screen on where I saw your face the whole time because I was watching your reactions as I was speaking, and it was helping me because every time I couldn't find a word, I look at you and you be smiling about something, and I find it, and I'm like, all right, cool, I got my mom on here, so like I appreciate you saying that and being on here for sure. So thank you, and I love you for that for sure.
Oh, I love you too.
Oh, don't make us cry.
I also want to say, Cousin Kieran, thank you for sharing your testimony with us this evening and also just being transparent because your transparency has led to your transformation so you can be able to get to your destiny. So that's what it's all about. Because when you're transparent and you're letting people know your story, that's whenever God is opening up and using you to get you to the next level. So I just thank you so much I listen to you a lot. I may not comment much, but I like it. I like your,
That's
Natalie,
okay.
You can't see my face. Sorry. I'm not, I got my rag on. So.
But she got a pretty picture up there. I love it.
Yeah, I see it now.
So just wanted to congratulate you beforehand because God is doing some miraculous and wonderful things for you. Like my sister stated, thanking Marisha for using her platform just to allow people to share their testimony, their gifts, their talents, and just we're all perfectly imperfect. So just thanking you for just sharing that with us tonight. And I love you.
Perfectly imperfect. I have been working on something. It's a small project I was working on called Imperfect Perfectionist. And you saying that.
To say he about to drop something. I'm just kidding.
I know, right?
And you saying that super confirmed that for me. Because at first I was still thinking about like that. And you saying that what you just said, it's like a perfect way to put that play of words. So, but thank you for what you just said. And same with Marisha, like for using this platform and more things that I'm saying, because it definitely it tests me in that area of speaking and preaching, I guess, if that's what you would want to call it, or being in the pulpit, whatever you said, they said on the comment. But it's helping me to open up more when it comes to just talking, and I appreciate that. So like I said, back to Natalie, thank you so much, for your comments. Everybody else that's
welcome.
Even the time to even listen to things that I have to say. I appreciate you. I don't know where my Inez went. Oh, okay. I saw at the top, it kept on saying, it looked like it said Vanessa Jolivet has left. I was like, then she must have
Oh, she's playing shy, being shy tonight.
I think she left again. There she is.
I did not leave, but I'm on the road and I just drove up in my yard, so I'm still listening, though. I'm still listening.
No, I was just wondering. I just wanted to say, like I said, thank you to everybody and even everyone. That
you know I'm your number one fan, and I love you.
Kieran, she gonna have us fighting. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you see, that's why I was muted, because I got some background noise.
Oh,
and he don't know how to be quiet.
I'm sorry, y'all. It just got awkwardly silent for some reason.
That's all. No one's saying anything. I have like, I have all your music on my phone. So
you got all of you got every single song.
Well, everything that's on Apple Music.
Oh yeah, well you got it all then. You definitely got it.
Mm-hmm.
I got
it. Did you think I was joking when I said I was your number one fan?
Oh no, I didn't think you was joking at all. I promise.
I'm kidding. So somebody's saying something.
I said psych.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Marisha. I think Marisha, you and Ness gonna have to fight behind who's the number one fan. Yeah. But Kieran, I really enjoyed tonight. I do, like Natalie said, I do listen to you a lot. I just don't comment on it. But how do we follow you? I know that there was an interview that you did in Crowley at a radio station, and that was just word of mouth. But how do we how do you keep us updated on the things that you have going on?
Well, every single thing that I do, whether it's an album, whether it's an interview, no matter what it is, I'm always going to post it on every platform that I'm on. I just haven't been doing much since the pandemic has been going on. Even that interview that was in Crowley, that was over the phone. She actually reached out to me, and I did that over the phone, and it really wasn't last minute, but the reason it wasn't promoted as much was because, like I said, at that time I was still very green, like with what I was doing, and just now getting on this journey, and I still was kind of nervous, didn't even know what I was gonna be saying, what was gonna go on. But as of late now, like with anything, whether it's a show, performance, interview, it doesn't really matter. It's always gonna be on my Facebook page. It's gonna be definitely on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. That's the only way these days for me to really like be able to make sure everybody's able to stay tuned with what I have going on. So
and your website.
Kieran, this is being recorded because it's going to be uploaded later. Would you please tell us how to follow you on Facebook, on Instagram, what your website is as well?
Yeah, everything is going to be Kieran the Light. My website is kieranthelight.com. I also have everything with my merch, all of the God Got Me merchandise and everything that I'm rolling out now. That's all on my website, which is kieranthelight.com. Instagram is going to be Kieran the Light, at Kieran the Light. That's KIERAN, not Sunny Delight, because for some reason everybody be putting Delight, DELIGHT, but it's The Light, THELIGHT. That's on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. My name is actually Kieran the Light on there too. So, and yeah, I already mentioned the website. So yeah, and as things continue to grow, and if other platforms, what am I doing? TikTok, Kieran the Light. That's like my main platform. It's also Kieran the Light on there. But like I said, as things continue to grow and things change in the world, and I continue to get on other things, I'm on Clubhouse as well. If anybody's on there, it's Kieran the Light. Always gonna just be Kieran the Light. I've been through a million different name changes, but I think this is the last one. And that's where you'd be able to follow me and everything. If anybody on here, if I'm not a friend of them on Facebook, I'll make sure I go on there and add them whenever I'm finished. But I think primarily, everybody on here usually uses Facebook probably the most. Am I wrong? I believe so. So I'm probably just gonna continue to. Y'all gotta answer me. Everybody be I be talking to myself, but like
Instagram. You can continue on Instagram. Thank you.
Yeah. Instagram definitely everything's gonna be on there all the time, and like I said, definitely on Facebook. And I believe Marisha usually, like when she sees it, she usually shares like everything that I usually post. So y'all may be able to catch it on her profile as well, and that's how you'll be able to. But like I said, everything that's been going on has literally been during the pandemic. So I guess whenever, if things begin to change in the world, y'all be able to see me on some bigger stages doing some bigger things. But as of right now, I believe God just got me in that hibernation stage of just trying to figure out what to do. So, and wait and just growing in my faith. So.
And I would be the secretary. I'm his secretary. So if anybody need to reach out to me, I could reach out to him and get information to him. His designer of his clothes, I'll do all that.
Momager. I was gonna say that you are already making it out there. You shared a message with me about someone who make sure that you guys record this because this person was in Australia. So you're definitely you're out there. You're out there.
Oh yeah, I got people that message me all the time from Africa, like
London.
Like all the time. I had somebody in Africa hit me up on Christmas Eve. They were like,
Africa.
No, it wasn't Christmas Eve. It was the day before New Year's. And they were like, it's already 2021 over here. Because I was putting out my album the next day, I believe. And they were like, so can I get the album today? And they were in Africa. And I was like, what? And it's crazy. Like I said, I have a huge fan. The person you're talking about is in Australia. She reaches out all the time, but I have a lot of people from other countries. And I didn't even know my music even gets that even go that far, like those people. So definitely, I saw a comment pop up. I don't even know how to go back to it. Never mind. But yeah, so it'd be like that.
I must have missed it. I don't see.
Let me see it. I secretary.
It popped up, but I don't even know how to get back to it.
Oh, no, I didn't see any questions. There's nothing there.
Okay.
No. Right. I thank you very much. I think if no one else has any questions or comments, I'm gonna play some more of your music until we drop off.
All right. Well, thank you. Wait. Drop off. So that must be the after party you were talking about, huh?
Yes. Yeah. This season we haven't really been doing a whole lot of that after party thing. I started school again today, so I gotta check in.
I'm sorry. Let me go back to this because I'm still trying to figure Zoom out, y'all.
It's okay.
Let's see. All right, there it is.
All right. Okay, let me see. I'm trying. I have so many favorites. I don't even know. I mean, of course, Excellence has become my #1 favorite because it was, for me.
I was about to say that better be your favorite one. I made that song specifically for you. Like I remember the other day I was asking Leah what her favorite song was, and she was sitting here thinking about it. She named every song but Leah's Kitchen. I was like, what you doing?
That's the one I wanted to play. I forgot about that. Hold up. Because this is about your wife, and that is on God Told Me. Hold up, let me get to that one. Okay, here we go. I love this one too, by the way. I really do. And when it comes to your music, like, it's crazy because sometimes I feel like I believe in your music more than you believe in it. It's not easy to be able to like rap, sing, actually write.
God told me put a ring on you. Told me put my last name on you. If we had to split a life sentence, on God, I would serve the whole thing for you. Probably made me turn on the fan for you. Ain't enough just to put it on the gram for you. Told you everything, had to put it on blast for you. Thank God he really made me change who I am for you. You really God's gift to the earth to me. So much I want to see you give birth for me. Perfect time, you emerged in perfectly. Every night you be really having church with me. At the beginning, I ain't think this would work for me. Full circle here, made a U-turn for me. You're the only one I call in an emergency. So therapeutic, your energy so nurturing. Even when we end up having disagreements, it be feeling like it happened for a different reason. Almost like God made us fight for the moment just so we could get it right and bounce back strong. You went through everything before me for a reason. Ironic, you a chef, you already well seasoned. Turn me into a Christian, mixed in your love, feel like I'm in your kitchen. You always come first like January, like Lauren said about Dip, you my sanctuary. Ain't another person after this, I can't leave, he gon' bring me right back to this. I told you everything and you believed it. Admitted everything, I put that on Jesus. Heart dropped to my feet when I see you, can't call you my Beyonce, girl. You feel like I've been knowing you forever. Together it feel like we more clever. I learned a lot of new things, everything that I know together. Because of you, I now think more carefully. When I lost all faith, you was there for me. I accepted the obvious, you're the best for me. God told me you in it for longevity. And I believe.
I was asking, can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
I'm looking on here on this chat. And I guess it says Marquita like messaged me directly, I guess.
Okay, so don't read that then.
No. That's why, because okay, so,
I got it.
Okay, yes. I was responding to everybody because it said
that's what you seen pop up for you.
She was asking me about my Zelle, and I put that on there. Y'all, I'm not asking nobody for no money because my like I think it's sent to everyone whenever I sent it. And because I'm looking at it right now on the
sorry.
Yeah, like I'm
private though to you.
Yeah, like I don't want nobody money. Like like I added it when I told y'all I don't know how to use this thing. So like it's saying when I look at it, it say, do you have Zelle? And then when it says to me direct message. When I commented back, it said to everyone. I was like, like, okay, didn't mean to put that on there like that. But
it's all good. That was for a reason then. Everything happens for a reason.
Okay. I was just trying to make sure that I actually saw what I saw because I ain't trying to. That's not what
What's Zelly?
Zelly.
What's Zelly?
It's Zelle. It's Zelle.
That's Chase Bank. Chase Bank.
Oh, educate me, y'all. Don't let me be in the dark. It ain't Zelly then.
No, it's Zelle. Zelle is, I believe.
Okay, I think this is officially the after party. I'm gonna go ahead and end recording.
Oh, really?